I feel like Ed Wood is just the movie. It's kind of the definitive film about filmmaking in my mind. I think it's my favorite Tim Burton movie. It's my favorite Johnny Depp performance. I think the best films about filmmaking tend to be about the struggles and productions that didn't go flawlessly, and like Ed Wood, the filmmaker, was somebody who was he didn't have the resources of typical Hollywood directors of the time. He was kind of what you'd call an independent before that was really a thing. And the movie really celebrates the exuberance of his sensibility, and also really celebrates how much he just really believed in what he was doing, and how positive he was about what he was making, what he was trying to do, even though his movies are pretty universally panned. And they've had a reappraisal in recent years. I think the longest time they were kind of considered like the worst movies ever made. I think the conversation has really changed, because when you go back and watch Plan 9, there's plenty of movies, even from that era, that are a lot worse. But I think it's more so the idea of what a bad movie is. It's not really just something that's boring. It's something that's kind of so strange and detached from reality that it becomes entertaining, separate from it being an engaging story or really competent in all of these ways that you would typically find in a product by a major studio. So yeah, Ed Wood, for me, it's a great place to start, because it's kind of one of the best of that kind, of really sort of helping you to understand that, of like where who this person was within this period of filmmaking in Hollywood, but also I think appreciating the endeavor that goes into any artistic pursuit, and how it's not really fair just to write off something as like, they weren't talented, or they didn't know what they were doing, this was bad, so therefore it's not valid. I think it kind of gives validity to artists and their need to create and what they create, even if it doesn't sort of fit into categories that are conventional.
It's such a classic, really a modern classic. I'm sure a lot of people have already seen it, but if it's been a while, I mean, it's such a rewatchable movie too. I think it's such an easy one to go back to and watch a second time, or a third time, or a fourth time. It's so entertaining, and I know this has been said before, but it's sort of miraculous that it even exists. A studio produced biopic about Edward D. Wood Jr., produced by Disney. This was actually a Disney production. I don't think they put the Disney label on it, but this was a movie financed by Disney. So it's a major movie starring a major actor by a major director, filmed in black and white. It was actually the last film actually shot on black and white film stock for a long time, I think until The Lighthouse in like 2019. So it's such an anachronism. It's so bizarre that this movie even happened. And it's just perfect. I couldn't imagine it being done any better. I couldn't imagine it being better written, better directed, better shot, or better performed. And gotta, of course, mention Martin Landau as Bela Lugosi in that movie. The best performance of his entire career. And I think the best makeup that Rick Baker ever did. Rick Baker is known for doing like American Werewolf in London and all these monster effects. He transforms Martin Landau into Bela Lugosi. You can't even tell that he's wearing makeup. And Martin Landau, like, you watch that movie, you don't even see Martin Landau. It's just Bela Lugosi has somehow come back to life and is appearing in this movie. It's uncanny and really just a jaw-dropping performance. So on top of everything else, it's just one more thing to love about that film.